Hi, I'm Jennifer Love. I'm a passionate, authentic intuitive who uses divine guidance to help people love themselves and live more fully in their bodies. This is your weekly love connection for the week of September 25th through October 1st. You can choose a card from 1 to 3, or I have assigned a card for your unique situation. This week we are using the Seasons of the Witch, Mabon Oracle by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. So this is a special deck because I'm filming actually at the fall equinox this evening, and it is also known as Mabon. And the fall equinox, autumn equinox, is a time of year in the kind of pagan wheel of the year, or the witch's wheel of the year. It's a time of second harvest. It's really when the sun shines equally on both hemispheres of the earth, so the days and the nights are equal. So after this point, nights will be longer than the days. So it's just kind of another checking in point in our wheel of the year. And so it's kind of the first day of fall, right? And also it's Libra season, so the sun has entered Libra. And so kind of the rituals associated with Mabon are kind of harvesty type of rituals. Your altar has all sorts of fall leaves and baskets and seeds and nuts and fall colors, and you can use carnelian stones and smoky quartz, and the colors are brown and red and gold and orange and stuff like that. So you can read up more about Mabon and the fall equinox if you're interested in that, and make your selection. Choose from 1 to 3. Card number 1 is for folks who need immediate answers and support. Card number 2 is for my singles, and card number 3 is for folks in relationships who just want a little guidance. Number 1, for folks who might be feeling a little bit in a crisis right now. This card is the Harvest Witch, and it says on it, "What sacrifices have you made for the greater vision of what is to be?" So I kind of feel like you might have been pushed to your limit here. In this oracle, this card is a card of how much have you sacrificed to get to this point, to be where you are. And basically it's saying, wanting you to ask yourself, have you sacrificed too much? Have you given too much of yourself to this situation that you no longer feel it's worth it? In kind of economic terms, it's called a sunk cost fallacy, right? Sometimes we feel like we've invested so much in a situation or a relationship or a person that you kind of feel like, well, I've spent so much time and effort and energy on this person. Now I have to stay with them, or I have to stay, I have to be with them. I've been with them for 10 years. What else am I supposed to do, right? You don't have to. That's the sunk cost fallacy, right? Just because you've spent a ton of money on a house, for example, doesn't mean you have to stay and live in that house. You can always cut ties, sell the house, and get out, right? You don't have to keep throwing your money in a pit, right? You can always just cut your losses, sell the house at a loss, and move on. You don't have to keep investing in a house or in a relationship that is not paying you dividends, or that is not providing you what you need it to. So this card is asking you, have you made too many sacrifices and you're not getting anything in return? Has the other person not made the same appropriate level of sacrifices? Or have you sacrificed too much of yourself where you no longer feel like yourself, or you no longer feel like you're in that same vision of your life that you want to be? So just ask yourself those questions and listen to the answer. Number 2 is for my singles, and this is the Witch's Gathering, and it says, gather in power, come together in grace, unity is rising, and all will be embraced. So I feel like with this card, you're being asked to definitely accept any social invitations that come your way. Don't stay home. If your friends are asking you to go out, if anybody's asking you to go out, you need to go because, this looks like a little dinner party, but it could be with friends, it could be with family. You never know when you're going to meet who you're supposed to meet, right? So don't say no to any invitations right now. This is also a reminder that you need to nurture all the relationships in your life. It's not just about your love life, it's also about nurturing your relationships with your family, your relationships with your friends. Don't neglect your relationships with your friends just because you're trying to build your love life. Sometimes we can get a little too hyper-focused on dating and relationships and neglect our girlfriends, or neglect our friends, or neglect our family because we're trying to meet somebody, you're trying to date, you're spending all this time and energy on dating, and you kind of forget these other relationships that are really important in your life. So, but you might meet who you're supposed to meet when you're hanging out with your friends. So don't forget that these people might introduce you to somebody important, or even just the fact that you're hanging out with your friends and it's enriching your life and making you a more interesting person just makes you that more attractive to whenever you meet who you're supposed to meet. So don't neglect your friends. That's the advice this week. Number 3 is for my folks in relationships, and this card is called Wool. It's card number 44, and it says, you are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home. So for you, your partner feels like home. If they don't, if you're not feeling that sense of safety and security, you're being asked this week to find that feeling of safety and security within the relationship, within your partner, or perhaps within your home. Find that feeling of safety and security and figure out, how can I bring that to my relationship? How can I bring this feeling of comfort and safety that I feel with my bed, with my warm blanket, with whatever brings me safety and comfort? How can I bring that to my relationship with my partner?